Hello, good morning. In the today's class, you are learning about the issues on the ER diagram. Then coming to the next, we are going for extended ER features. Now, what are the issues will be there at the time of you are drawing the ER diagram? The today's session issues under the ER diagram, then extended ER features. Now, if you are going for the at the time of you are designing the relational model with the using entity relationship model, what are the problems or what are the issue you faced? The first issue at the time of you are designing entity set versus attribute. Under the entity when you are defining the attributes, under the attributes again it is categorized, the different types will be there. Composite attributes will be there, multi-valued attributes will be there, derived attributes will be there. At the time of you are defining the entity, under the entity when you are declaring the attributes. Suppose if you are defining the attribute, if you are defining the simple attribute or composite attribute, for simple attribute the sub attribute will be not there. Coming to the composite attribute, we are having as a sub attributes will be there. Based on this attribute, at the time of we are designing the ER diagram, we are facing some problems or issues. The first issue, usage of entity versus attribute. Here we are having as a two natural questions raises at the time of we are designing the database. The first constitutes as attribute. First we should focus two natural questions raises at the time of your designing. The first question it is raises about the attributes. Under the constitutes as the entity sets, means at the time of we are defining the attributes and entity, first we should focus. Unfortunately, there are no simple answer will be there at the time of we are designing the ER diagram. The distinction mainly depend upon the structure of relational world enterprise being the model. One of the semantic associated with the attribute in the question. The common mistake is to be the primary key of the entity set of the attributes other entity set instead of using the relationship. Means in the last class under the ER diagram you said that cardinality principles will be there. Under the cardinality principles or cardinality mapping or cardinality ratio, it is categorized the four types: one to one and one to many to one or many to many relationships will be there. Now at the time of you are designing the entity, under the entity when you are defining the attributes, that attribute should be we should define as a primary key, the major thing. Another related mistake is that people sometimes make to design the primary key attributes of related entity set of the attributes of relationship. Based on the entity, based on the relationship, at the time of the designer, they will consider as a primary key. This is not a good. At the time of we are designing the database of the schema, we should define relationship between the attributes, relationship between the attribute, relationship between the table, we should implement with the help of relationship. Now if we are going for the next, we are having the entity set versus relationship set. The first issue, what are the problems we faced, means under the entity set versus attribute. Second, we are going for entity set versus relationship set. Now under the entity it can consist attributes, and under the entity we are representing with the help of the double rectangle. Under the entity we are representing as an entity name and attributes will be there. Coming to the relationship, we are representing in the format of the double diamond. Between the entity set and the relationship, what are the issues will be there? It is not only the always clear whether the object is the best expressed by the entity set or relationship set. Means between the entities, when you are giving the relationship it is a good or bad, we should consider. One possible guidelines is determining whether you may have the entity set or relationship set to design the relationship set to describe the action about the other between the entities. Means Blindly, if you are defining the entity from the entity blindly, if you are giving as a relationship, it will not describe about the occurrence of the between the entities. Here the entities means group of entities that we are calling as the entities. Means for the entities we are having as a similar properties will be there. This approach can also useful to deciding the whether the certain attribute may be the more appropriately expressed by the relationship. Among the relationship, again we are giving as a descriptive attribute we are giving. The descriptive attribute we are defining with the help of dashed line. Based on the descriptive attribute, it is describing about the between the entities with the description meaningful information, the content we are giving under the relationship. Now coming to the third, we are having the binary versus n array relationship. Binary means between the two entities. N array relationship means here n array relationship means between the two entities, binary versus n array relationship. Binary means between the two entities we are giving as relationship, we are calling as a binary relationship. Suppose if you are having more than 4 entities, under the more than 4 entities, if you are giving as that relation, we are calling as a n array relation. More n number of entities if you are having as n array. If you are having 3 entities, between the 3 entities if you are giving as a relationship, we are calling as a ternary relationship. Coming to if you are having as a 4 nRNA means we are calling as a binary ternary. Binary means for 2, ternary means for 3, for 4 we are calling as a 4 array relationship we can call. Now coming to under the relationship database, oftenly binary will be there. Some of the relationship appears to the non-binary could be better to represent the several binary relationship. Means under the relationship, under the database, when we are giving only, we are giving as a binary. If you are having as a larger designing the database, we should give as a n array binary relationship also is a very good. Several binary relationships always is possible to replace a non-binary. Means n array greater than 2 means if you are having more than n entities, for the more than entities we can give the n arrays relationship. Now if you are talking about the simplicity, consider about the abstraction about the ternary. For the ternary means for the 3 entities when you are giving as a relationship. See if you are understanding purpose for ternary relationship. A is an entity, C is an entity, B is an entity. Between these 3 entities we are giving only the one relation. Then we are calling as a ternary. Suppose if you are not having as a C, then we can consider as a binary relation. Between the A entity and the B we are calling as a. Here it is existing as a 3 relations. From A is associating with the help of the B, B is associating with the help of C, C is associating help of the 3, C is associating with the help of A entity. Then we can call as a ternary relationship. Now if you want to talk about, here we are having, see here same only, here we are having the taking the entity A, B, C, D are the entities. For the relation for the here only the one common relation will be there. This common relation we are eliminating with the help of, we are taking the one more entity. Now see here the one more entity. A, B, C and E are the entities, R A, R B, R C are the relations. In this way also we can use the relationship. 3 binary relationship will be there. This is the entire one binary, then 2, 3. Ternary relationship with the help of 3 binary relationship. Now according to the diagram, if you are taking as a relationship set is R and any attribute, these are assigned to the entity set is A. Means if you are considering as a relationship, then we are assigning with the help of E. Means entity E. Further, the special identification of the attributes is created for the E. Each relationship we are calling as a AI, BI, CI up to if you are having n number of ni, we can consider the relationship with the help of R. We can create the new entity set with the help of EI. Just now what I said. Now if you are created only up to AIBICI. If you want to create, we can create with the help of EI also. Now, these three new relations here we are inserting with the help of the relationships here. EI and AI is a relation which is existing with the help of RA. EI and AI, it is existing with the help of RA. Now, if you are talking about EI entity with the help of BI, it is existing with the help of relation B entity. Relation B entity, EI and BI. The relationship is existing between the EI and CI. It is relationship existing as a RC. If we are generalizing this process in the straightforward manner to the n-array relationship, conceptually we can restrict it for the ER models to increase only for the binary relationship set. Restrictly it is not allowed for the desirable. If you want to identify the attribute, may have to create the entity set created with the help of the relationship to increase the complexity design overall the storage structure. If you want to talk about the n-array relationship, it shows the clearly about the several entities participates with a single entity of the relationship set. Then if you want to translate the constraints on the ternary array relationship, the constraints under the binary relationship. Now, you saw about the what are the issues will be there at the time of you designing the ER diagrams. The first issue, entity set with the attributes, entity set with the relationship, binary versus n array. Then the final issue will be the problem will be there, placements about the relationship attributes. Means if you want to place under the relationship attributes, the major important under the cardinality principle ratio of the affecting from the participant relationship attributes, the attributes of one-to-one or one-to-many or many-to-one relationship associated with the one of the participant entity rather than the relationship set. One-to-one relationship set, the attributes can be associated with either on the participants entities. The attributes of one-to-many relationship can be responsibility to only the entity set of the many side of the relationship. Suppose if you want to talk about the relationships one-to-one, the one-to-one is possible only for the self joins. When you are talking about the one-to-many relationship, it is possible for the joining two tables. Means the responsibilities about the only the entity to many sides of the relationship it is appear. If you want to design the decision with the help of the descriptive attribute in such cases, relationship or entity set attributes should reflect to the characteristic of the enterprise being module. Choose the attribute placement more clear cut of the many-to-many relationship set. Attributes is determined by the combination of the participants entity set. Rather than the any entity is separately, the attribute must be associated to many relationship. Now, if you want to talk about the issue under the relationship attributes, suppose if you want to take the example for these issues under the relationship attributes, suppose I am creating the two tables with the employee table and the department table. Department table is a parent table. Under the department table, for department number I am giving as a primary key. Coming to the employee table is a child table. Based on the parent table, now we are implementing the child table. Why we are implementing the child table means between the parent table and the child table relationship is existing. Means under the employee table we are having employee number, employee name, designation, department number. Coming to the department table of the parent table under department column, that column or attribute should be available under the EMP table. Means between the two tables here the relationship is existing with the help of referential integrity. Means what is the content will be there under the parent table, the same content will be available under the child table. These are the participants of the entities under the relationship attributes. At the time of your designing the issue, we should focus. Now one more in the today's class, major important topics, issues under the ER diagrams, extended features is very important for your university theory exam. Coming to why we are going for the extended features. Already you learned the ER diagrams, entity relationship diagrams. Based on the entity relational diagrams, we are designing the database. Why they extended these features? What are the issues we saw under the entity diagrams? They eliminated that issues, they implemented the extended ER features. The basic ER components can be modeled. Most of the database features, some of the aspects of the database may be the more expressed by the certain extension. The basic ER model, extended ER features, under the extended ER features, it includes the specialization, generalization, and aggregation. These three are the major important under the extended ER features. Specialization, generalization, and aggregation. One more we are having as a attribute inheritance will be there. The four scenarios will be there under the extended ER feature. Coming to, if you want to go for talk about the specialization, under the specialization, subgrouping with the entity set we are calling as a specialization. Subgrouping means under the specialization, the process of designing the subgrouping within the entity set we can call as a specialization. For example, if you want to talk about the meaningful of the specialization, how we are subgrouping these entity under the extended ER features. If you want to take as an entity may include the subgrouping entities distinct in the one way from the another entity in a set. The ER model provides the means of representing these distinct entity grouping. For example, if you are taking as a person, maybe further it is classified as categorized into two types: employee and the student. With the help of the entity, with the help of the person entity, it is deriving, means it is a subgrouping. Deriving, or we can call as a subgrouping under the specialization. Specialization, the main purpose of the specialization, subgrouping of the entity set we can call as a specialization. Means, for example, if you are having as a person, based on the person, it is deriving as the two entities, employee and the student. Now, if you want to take the person entity is describing about the set of the attribute, that may include that all attributes of the entity set person plus possibility of some additional attributes also available. For example, if you are taking as an employee entity, for employee entity maybe it is described about the further attribute as a salary. If you are taking about the student, for the student entity, under the person, what are the attributes will be there? That attributes, the same properties will be there. Again, we are defining the one more attribute. That attribute under the student we are calling as a total credits. General specialization is a person allows use to distinguish among the person entity according to whether the corresponding employees are the student. In the journal, person could be the employee, student. The person can be both for the student and employee both or neither. Now, if you are taking about the specialization repeatedly to the reference the design for the instance of the university implies a further qualification into two: instructor and secretary. Suppose, according to the specialization, subgrouping of the entity sets we are calling as a specialization. Subgrouping or deriving from one entity to the sub entities we are calling as a specialization. Now, if you are taking as a person is an entity, with the help of the person entity, when you are deriving as the employee and the student, again from the sub entity of the employee, again it is classifying or it is dividing into two more entity we can call as a instructor or secretary. Those of the employees type of the describing the set attributes, it includes the all attributes of entity set employee plus additional attributes will be there. Means under the person maybe three attributes will be there. When you are deriving or when you are subgrouping of the entity, under the entity the additional attributes we are adding. When you are adding these additional attributes, Coming to the derived from the when you are deriving from the parent or when you are deriving from the person, same attributes will be there. Additionally, we are defining the attributes. While secretary entity also describe the attributes as a hours for the week. Now instructor is describing about the attribute as a rank. Under the instructor also we are defining one more additional attribute is a rank. For the secretary we are defining about the hours for the week. Maybe specialization may more than one distinguishing features will be there. Means if we are defining the one entity, based on entity we can derive or we can distinguish the sub entities based on our requirement. Now if you want to talk our example, employees entity is a job that employees is performing. If you want to refer the relationship, is a relationship. Means from the person, with the help of the person when you are deriving the entity, employee entity and the student entity, when we are giving as a relationship as a is a relationship. We are referring the relationship is a relationship, which stands for is a means representing. It is representing, for example, instructor is a employee. In terms of ER diagram, specialization is displayed by the arrow headed pointing for the specialization entity to other entity. See here. This is the arrow diagram. According to specialization is displayed by the arrow headed pointing for the specialized entity to the other entity. With the help of the person entity, when you are deriving the sub entity, the employee entity means with the help of this entity only it is deriving. Now if you want to give the relationship between the person and student, we can use triangular symbol is a relationship. Now with the help of the employee entity, again we are deriving as a two more entities. Instructor entity, under the instructor the attribute we are defining as a rank. Coming to under the person entity, ID, name and address will be there. These three attributes also it is available under the employee ID, under the employee entity. Coming to the student entity also, ID, name and address also available. Coming to the salary, under the salary, now see here instructor also we are having the salary attribute, ID, name and address. For secretary also we are having the salary, address, name and ID. Means if you under the specialization of the ER diagram, whether the entity may be belongs to the multiple specialized entity set. If it is must be belongs to most one of the specialized entity. The former cases, the multiple sets permitted only for the lower lapping specialization. The former cases, the specialization we are calling as a lower lapping specialization. While the latter cases, the at most one permitted is called as a disjoint specialization. Overlapping specialization is the case of the student and employee specialization of the person. Now two separated arrows are used for the disjoint specialization. Coming to here, if you are taking as overlapping specialization means this we can call as a overlapping, this we can call as a disjoint. Under two separated arrows are used for disjoint specialization. Two separated arrows, disjoint means it is distinct. Means your person and employee, it is when it is two separated will be there, means we can call as a disjoint specialization. Overlapping specialization means under the overlapping specialization means at most one permit will be there. This we are calling as a overlapping. These two entities it is overlapping under the employee. Difference between the overlapping specialization and disjoint specialization. Now if you want to talk about the overlapping specialization, the student and employee, the student see here under the disjoint student and the employee, just now I said two separated arrows are used. Disjoint specialization, under the disjoint specialization, instructor and secretary as specialization of the employee will be there. single arrow is used. The specialization relationship may also be referred to as superclass subclass. Just now, according to the inheritance concept, we can calling as a superclass and a subclass. Superclass and subclass relationship will be there. Higher and low level entities also may be the distinct by the term. The high level entity we can consider as a person. The low level we can consider as a student or employee. Here in this also we can consider as a super and subclass. The superclass we can consider as a person. The subclass we can consider as a employee and student. Means this generalization is, this specialization is possible for top to bottom approach. Top to bottom. Always the specialization it is possible from top to bottom. Means instructor, what are the rank, salary, this will be the top to bottom. Always generalization means it follows the approach top to bottom only. For generalization down to top, top to bottom, arrow mark is representing in the according to the OOPS concepts. When you are if we are giving as a inheritance concept superclass, the superclass we are giving as a arrow mark. With the help of the superclass we are deriving the subclass. Means from top to bottom approach is possible under the specialization. Top to bottom, for bottom to top generalization will be there. Now next we are going for the generalization. The designing process which multiple entity sets are synthesized in the higher level entity set basis on the common features known as generalization. Just now what I said. Specialization means from top to bottom, top to bottom. Now coming to generalization means bottom to up, reverse. It is the reverse. Means according to this diagram, very important, most of the students they will confuse for the specialization. Specialization means describing the sub entity or deriving the sub entities we can call as a specialization. With the help of the person entity, with the help of the person entity we are deriving the two more entities. With the help of the employee entity again we are deriving the two more entities. These are possible under the specialization. Specialization is possible from top to bottom. Specialization is possible from the top to bottom. Means when you are deriving from the parent, from parent to child it is existing. Coming to the generalization, from coming to the generalization, bottom to top will be there. Means under the bottom, what are the entities, what are the attributes will be there, those will be available under the person entity, that we can call as a generalization. Means same thing will be there, it is hiding the data, entire will be there under the parent. All the child elements or sub-child elements will be there under the your parent entity set. Then we can call as a generalization. Generalization is possible from bottom to up design process. Database designer may have the first identified instructor entity set with attribute instructor ID, instructor name, instructor salary and the rank. Coming to the secretary entity set, it describes about secretary ID, secretary name, secretary salary and hours week. Then hours a week. There are the similarities between the instructor set and the secretary set, secretary entity set. We have the several different that the conceptual the same across the two entity set, namely the ID and salary attribute. If you are considering about the instructor and the secretary, instructor entity set and the secretary, ID and the name or the salary or the common will be there in the both the entities. The different will be the rank and hours for the week, how much hours he was working as a secretary. The major difference means to create the generalization, the attributes must given the common name to represent within the higher level entity. Means when we are defining the sub entities, the the parent entity should be the what are the similar attributes will be there. The similar attributes should be defined in that particular entity only. Now, if you want to follow the all participants purpose or the generalization, the simple inversion of the specialization. All participants means if you are taking for example according to the diagram, it is derived employee. Under the employee we are having as a instructor will be there, secretary will be there. Means all participants of the attributes will be available under the instructor and the secretary only. The one specific attribute will be there, that is only for the instructor we are having as a rank. Coming to the secretary we are having as a hours for the week. Now if you want to apply the both process in the combination, the codes of the designation ER schema in terms ER diagram itself do not be distinct between the specialization and the generalization. Entity representing as a distinct specialization or synthesize the generalization. Designing the schema come to express fully the database application users requirement of the database. Difference in two approaches, the characters of the starting point overall the goal. If you want to talk under this generalization, under the generalization we are defining under the constraints. When you are defining the constraints under the generalization, determine when the entities can be number given from the low level entity set. When you are giving as a low level entity set. Now under the generalization we are having as a low level entity set and high level entity set. The high level entity set we are considering as a parent entity set. Coming to the low level entity set we are calling as a child entity set. Now if you want to take under the following condition under the constraints of the generalization, condition should be defined under the generalization. Based on that attribute we should define the condition. Whether or not entity satisfies the explicit condition to predicate, low level entities are evaluated on the basis of the same attribute of the generalization set to be. Attribute should be defined. At the time of the generalization, when you are defining under the ER diagram, for that attribute the condition should be defined, mandatory. Now coming to the second scenario, under the constraints of the generalization, users should be defined at the low level entity not for the constraints by the membership condition. Database users should be assigned the entities to given the entity set, implementing the operations to add the entity with the entity set. Now one more, under the second type of the constraint we are having under the specialization, here we are having as a disjoints will be there. Disjoint constraints require the entity belonging to the more than one low level entity set. When should we consider as a disjoint entity? When should we consider as a disjoint constraints means entity belonging to the more than one low level entity set, then only we can consider as a disjoint. Coming to the overlapping under the specialization, the same entity may belonging to more than one low level entity within the single generalization. Actually we learned about the overlapping specialization. Overlapping specialization means with the help of two entity sets we are deriving only the one entity. Coming to under the generalization also same scenario will be there. We should derive only one single generalization. One more constraint, the final constraint with completeness constraints will be there under the generalization. The higher level entity set must be belonging to the least one of the low level entity set. Means the constraints is one of the following: total generalization or specialization. Total generalization or total specialization. Partial generalization or the special generalization under the at the time of your defining under the ER features. Under the ER features at the time of your defining the under the specialization generalization, that generalization is the total generalization or total specialization. High level entity set must belonging to the low level entity set, then only we can call as a total generalization. Means high level entity set parent entity, the parent entity must belonging to the child entity, then only we can call as a total participants. For example, my father having the properties, that properties will belonging to the child only. Same scenario will be there under the total generalization and the total specialization. Under the total generalization, under the parent entity set, what are the properties will be there? That property should belonging to the child of the low level entity set. Then only we can call as a total generalization the partial total generalization or total specialization. Coming to the partial generalization, the partial specialization under the high level entity set may be belongings to only the low level entity set. Now just now when you're taking as a diagram, when you're taking the diagram for the person is the entity and the person entity ID, name and salary will be there. With the help of the person entity, when you are deriving the employee entity, under the employee entity also employee name will be there, salary will be there. When you are having as a designation, the designation attribute is not there under the parent of the person entity, then we can call as a partial participants. If you are considering from the bottom to top, if we are considering to the bottom to top, then we can call as a total generalization. Note here the partial generalization is the default. Under the ER diagrams, partial generalization is the default. We can define the total generalization in the ER diagram by adding the keyword as a total. In the diagram, when you are giving as a dashed line of the keyboard corresponding to the arrow headed, which applies that total generalization. Now when you are giving as a overlapping with the help of the arrow mark, we are calling as a overlapping generalization. Now the third scenario under the extended ER features, attribute inheritance. Attribute inheritance means it is the inheritance. Inheritance means it is deriving the from the parent class. When you are deriving the subclass, we are calling as an inheritance. In the crucial properties as high and low level entities is created by the specialization and generalization with the help of the attribute inheritance. Attributes under the high level entity set is said to be the high level attributes under the high level entity set are said to be the inherited by the low level entity set. Same thing what I said. When you are deriving the from according to the OOPS concepts, we are having the class, the parent class, with the help of the parent class when you are deriving the subclass. Same scenario will be there. What are the properties will be there under the parent class? Same properties will be there under the subclass. This scenario will be there under the extended ER feature. Now the final is aggregation is very important. Aggregation. Now aggregation means grouping the data together. How you want to group the data together? For example, if you are having under the department table, 6 departments will be there. CSE, civil, mechanical, 6 department will be there. For each and every department, we are giving as a department number. For department number, civil 732, CSE 733, from EEE 734, EC 735, mechanical 736, IT 737. These are the department number. Now, with the help of the department number, now I want to group the data together, find out the how many number of employees working in the particular department. From the department wise, from the civil department, how many faculties they are working, under EC department, how many faculties they are working, under CSC, how many faculties they are working. Now, if you want to group the data together, it is possible with the help of aggregation. It is possible under the extended features under the ER diagrams. Now, with the help of the ternary relationship, we are having as a project guide and instructor will be there, student will be there. Here we are having as a two entities. The two entities we are having as a project, student and instructors will be there. From these three entities, we are giving as a relationship as a project guide. Suppose if you want to take as an instructor is guiding the student on the project is requirement to the file of the monthly evaluation report will be there. Now the model of the evaluation report as entity evaluation. Now the primary key evaluation is here, the ID will be there. One more alternate record is the student, project and the instructor will be there. The combination of these evaluation corresponding to create the quaternary. Quaternary means we are grouping the four entities to the one relation only. Now under the aggregation, if you want to see, means here the four entities we are grouping together with the help of one common relation. That common relation we are calling as a project guide. Now if you want to represent, see here, between the four entities, how you want to represent the relationship. Now see here project will be there, instructor will be there, student will be there, evaluation will be there. Project is a entity set, instructor is a entity set, student is a entity set, evaluation is a entity set. Four entities. From the four entities, relationship is existing. Between the instructor and the evaluation, the relationship is existing binary. Evaluation, the student, it is existing as a binary. From instructor to student, it is existing the relationship as a binary. Now if you are taking about the project and the student, it is existing as a project and the student is existing the binary. See here we are having as a, here it is existing as a quaternary relationship is existing. This quaternary relationship, what you are doing means we are grouping together. This means the relationship project guide and evaluation relationship we are grouping together, we are making as a only the one. Now your understanding purpose, here we are going for the redundancy information of the results figure, the instructor, student and the project combination level for we are giving as a project guide. Then the best model of the situation is the aggregation. Aggregation is the abstraction throughout the relationship is treated as a high level entities. Means based on that all entities, under the entities the common attributes what will be there among the three entities or among the two entities we are grouping together. Now finally see here, this is the binary. The project, instructor and the student we are grouping together. Then we are taking as a evaluation report is a relation. This entire we are considering as a one entity. Project, instructor and the student we are considering as a entity. From this entity we are giving as a relationship evaluation form. Evaluation form is an entity, evaluation hyphen for is a relationship. We can create the binary relationship eval for between the project guide and the evaluation. This entire entity we are calling as a project guide. Under the project guide we are grouping three entities together. Aggregation is very important. The main purpose of the aggregation means grouping the data together. We can group the data, similar data together only. This is a major feature under the ER extended feature. Very important question for your university theory exam. Briefly extend about the ER features, extended ER features, specialization, generalization, attributes inheritance and aggregation. These four features is available under the ER. ER with the main features, extended ER features will be there. One more question for the 2 marks or 4 marks. What are the issues at the time of your designing the ER diagram? The first issue is among entity versus attributes. Entity versus attributes, entity versus relationship, binary versus n array relationship. The last one we are having as a relationship attributes. These are the four issues under the at the time of your designing the database. Relationship attribute, issues under the relationship attributes, then binary versus ternary or n array, issues under the entity set versus relationship, issues versus under the entity. Under the entity set, when you are designing the which type of the attributes we should define. This today's class topic is very important for your theory exam. Next, the one more under the first unit only banking ER diagram is only the small topic is left. The 95% the first unit is completed. Only the one more topic is left. Based on the banking application, how you want to draw the ER diagram. Maybe sometimes they are asking for the 5 marks, sometimes they are asking for the 8 marks also for ER diagrams. They can ask any daily life example for your ER diagram. Thank you.